if Disney is so evil, then why do they always promote stories where good always wins? Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I'm going to be talking about today. And it's going to be a very short video probably. It's going to be a very quick explanation. The reason they promote good always wins is because I believe they want us to have an optimistic look on people. Now, one of the things I say to you guys all the time on this channel, for those of you who are regular subscribers and viewers, shout out to y'all. Y'all know who you are. Y'all the real MVPs. Y'all the real OGs. And I really respect y'all and I appreciate you guys so much, more than you even know. You all know that I always talk about how there's this misconception in society that people are generally good, you know, and this is one of the reasons I've been talking a lot about narcissism, because not a narcissist, they prey on people who think like that. They prey on people who think, oh, like everybody's good and we're all trying to help mankind, and we're all trying to move forward and then get through world peace and blah blah blah. You can tell I've watched a lot of things about beauty pageants, right, with the world peace. But anyway, and so I believe part of Disney's programming is to let us think that, because then we become easy victims. Because when you think everybody, and this is why I tell you guys, I don't tell you guys that most people in the world are not good, which I don't believe anybody's good, as you guys will know. I believe only Jesus was truly good. I believe the rest of us, we're a bit of, there's good and bad about us. I think calling somebody a good person, a lot of people who classify it as good people, Jeffrey Epstein being one who was involved in all these charities, right? Jimmy Savile from the UK, who everybody loved. A lot of these people you think are good, who present as good, are actually very evil. And that's why I think it's problematic for us to have the mentality that there is good and bad people. I think a lot of bad people, or what we've called bad people, have actually had understandable experiences and probably have better hearts than a lot of good people. But anyway, I believe that's why Disney does it. Disney creates this idea that like everything's good and the heroes always win and good always wins, which good does always win. But that's only when we're talking in a spiritual sense. Because if we're talking, and when there's a spiritual element to it, because if we're talking without the spiritual sense, then if you are somebody who thinks good always wins, you may create yourself to be the perfect best bait for example, a narcissist, or somebody that's evil, or somebody who wants to manipulate you. And that's what Disney doesn't talk about. And that's why they do it. Because ultimately, in my opinion, in my perspective, Disney is just trying to destroy children and the world. They're trying to destroy the way we think. They're trying to program us so that we think, oh, this is what good is. And I feel like it also gives them the opportunity to define what good is, what good actually is. And I'll give you guys an example of where I find this, kind of with just Disney fairy tales, etc. So there's a show called Once Upon a Time on Netflix, which I love Once Upon a Time. And on there, my favorite character on Once Upon a Time, if anybody asked, which nobody did, is Regina. And she's one of the villains on there, but she's one of the characters I love the most. And the reason why I love her character is because I believe she represents why I don't believe it's as simple as good versus bad people in the world. There is good versus, there's the kingdom of darkness versus the kingdom of light, right? But I don't believe that there's just good and bad people, and some people are born bad and some people are born good. I think we're actually all technically born bad. But anyway, that we'll talk about in another video. Anyways, with Regina is a villain in the show. And you got Snow White, and so Once Upon a Time is a show where they bring together lots of different of like the Disney fairy tale characters into one show, and they all interact with each other. It's super cool. It's very interesting. Now, one thing about Regina is she's a big villain, but she's a mum. She loves her son, who's called Henry, right? Now, she is at odds with Snow White, and Snow White's obviously like one of the Disney princesses who was kissed when she was whatever, and then Prince Charming brought her back to life. And whatever, right? Now, here's the interesting thing that people glaze over in the story, but to me stuck out. The reason why Regina, who is the evil witch, right? She becomes the evil witch. The reason she became the evil witch in the first place is because she had an evil mum, right? Her mum just wanted her child Regina, just to basically use for whatever she wanted. In fact, she'd given away one of her children, which also turned out to be another witch. You know, the one that turns green from The Wizard of Oz. I can't remember her name. But anyway, so she'd given away that child because that child was useless to her as far as she felt. But she had Regina, who she was trying to use to be whatever she wanted Regina to be. Now, Regina was actually in love as a young person with this lovely guy, and she wanted to have a life with him and blah, blah, blah. Completely opposite of what you now see of her as the villain Regina later on, the evil witch. But what happened was, she had this secret boyfriend. Her mum didn't know about it. And then Snow White, as a child, went and told the mum that she had this boyfriend. And the mum pulled this boy. I think she pulled the boyfriend's heart out. They pull people's heart out in the show, guys. Just, you know, this is just what they do. The mum basically killed the man that Regina loved. And this was like, this man was everything to her. And it was all because of Snow White. It was all because Snow White had gone and said this whole story to the mum. Even though Snow White said she wasn't going to say anything. Now, I will say she was a child, and I don't think we should be giving secrets to children, expecting them to hold them. So we'll put that there as well. But the fact of the matter is, prior to her going through this trauma of the death of the man she loves being killed by her very own mother, she was not the villain that she is now, or in the show. And you see through the show, she kind of goes back to her old version when she then, you know, finds love again and has people that love her again, etc. And this is why I have a problem with this, the way that Disney presents stuff. Like, there's always just these clear two lines. Like, these people are just all good and these people are just all bad. It's never that simple. And that's why I don't believe in good or bad people. But I believe Disney does that because it programs us to then go, oh, somebody gives money to charity, they're good. Oh, somebody, like, you know, feeds the poor, they're good. Like, it reminds me of when I was in church when I was younger, right? And I used to see these videos of, like, a pastor or a preacher will go somewhere in Africa and they'll have this big bag of rice and this check. And they'll be standing there with the picture, with getting pictures done, showing, oh, like, I'm the most lovely philanthropist, charitable individual who's helping the world and humanity. And it's like, first of all, if you really wanted to help them, you'd teach them probably how to farm. If I were you, I would have brought, like, seeds for them to actually plant of different vegetation. Maybe some tomatoes, some lettuce, some potatoes, some cucumber, like a whole bunch of stuff so they can at least start to grow their own stuff, right? I'll be going around the country finding them animals that they can breed for themselves. Because, you know, even chickens, when they're looked after, like, properly, they hatch an egg every day. So they could be making chickens, whatever. They could be teaching them how to build huts or whatever, giving them tools. But no, you came with a massive bag of rice and a check for not that much money, and you're calling it, like, amazing, and you're doing it on TV, which is why I believe the Bible actually says that when you give, your left hand shouldn't even know what your right hand is doing, i.e., give in secret. Don't let everybody have to know what you're doing, because don't do it just for the sake of people seeing what you're doing. Do it because you really want to do that from the kindness of your heart. And that's where my problem comes in with Disney and stuff, because I feel like they give us this idea that the lines... Here's the thing. The difference between good and evil is black and white. It is black and white, right? Us as human beings, we're not that black and white. And that's where the problem comes, because then Disney is programming us to receive these people and think they're doing something good. Like the World Economic, not the World Economic Forum, sorry, the World Health Organization, right? They're like, we want to plan everything so that if any other problem happens in the world, we're going to know everything to do and we're going to protect you and we're going to make all the decisions in the world. We're not going to have to ask your presidents or your prime ministers or your leaders or your kings and queens. We're going to decide, and we're going to have the people who are deciding. You're not even going to know who these people are, and we're doing it for the betterment of mankind, right? It's a lie. But they say that stuff to us. You know why we believe in that stuff? Because we believe in the stuff in Disney, and we believe that the lines are that clear and that cutthroat. We believe that somebody who's evil is just evil for no good reason all the time. In our perspective. It's like what I said in my video about prisoners, and how I said some of the best men, in my opinion, are in prison right now. Because they're the ones who actually maybe did something about the fact that their daughter had been R-worded by someone, and maybe that's why they've got a murder. Maybe the reason why they went stealing in a shop is because they've been trying everything to provide for their family. Their wife is pregnant with triplets. They've been trying to get a job, but nobody's taking them because their name's Tyrone. And so they've decided to rob a shop. Nothing that they ever wanted to do, but they're just trying to provide for their family. But on the other hand, we'll have people who like seem like they're above the law and they're perfect and they're amazing and they're good. And we trust everything they're doing because they sound so good and they work for a charity. And it'll be those people who are raping children. And it'll be those people who are sexually assaulting women, right? We talked about this. How many examples have I given of this on my channel of people who were so-called respected in society or whatever, who are doing... Like Jeffrey Epstein, like I just mentioned, who had a whole pyramid scheme of giving opportunities to rich people to pay money to charity, basically in exchange to be predators to young women, underaged. And that's why I say that Disney, the reason why Disney promotes good always wins, and however, and the way they promote it and the way they always make it seem like these good people are just perfect. It kind of reminds me of the Christians who do the same thing, who are like, because I'm a Christian, I'm perfect and I do everything perfect and I'm basically Jesus and I'm basically God. Like, that's wrong. Real human beings, we can be good and we can be bad. There are some people who think I'm a great person or a good person. There are some people who think I'm a horrible person. Now, trust me, I was not trying to be a horrible person on purpose, but I'm a freaking human being, like the same with you guys. And that's why it's important for us to acknowledge that. And that's why, however, I also believe that Disney wants us to think everybody's amazing, because then we think we can be perfect, which is a lie because we never will be. But also, we assume when we come across somebody that they will be, which makes us more susceptible to be a victim to what they are doing. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you agree or disagree, I'd love to hear from you regardless. Y'all know I love to hear from y'all. If you enjoy my video, my content, if you want to hear more from this gal, hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button, guys. We are on the road to 500 subscribers now, I guess, which is insane. Like, when I started, oh my gosh, like, what is going on? So yes, we are on the road now, guys. Please hit that subscribe button. Let's get there. Let's hit it. Also, let me hit the like button. And like I said, of course, do let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Even if you agree or disagree, listen, I want to hear from you regardless, because it's great to have conversation. It's great for us to conversate and hear each other's perspectives and understanding. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. God bless every single one of you, and I'll see you in my next one. Goodbye.